If that Tim Walz, that guy got into power, like if Kamala died and Tim Walz, Tampon Tim, was our president, you know how crazy this country would be? That weirdo who puts tampons in the boys' room. And what about our joy? Like, he's a complete pathological liar. Like a complete liar. Lied about being in Tiananmen Square. Lied about being head coach of a football team.
That Walz guy, I mean, I don't want to be too unfair because I don't know him and I don't have any hard evidence. He's a weirdo. That guy's weird.
He seems very strange.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
There's something not right about that guy's personal life. So I hope I'm wrong because I don't want people like that with power. But most people I know with power in Washington have personal lives that would not withstand scrutiny.
Joe Rogan and Tucker Carlson. Two names you almost never hear together. Yet when they turned their sights on one political figure, the impact shook the American political scene. This wasn't a debate. It was a raw, no-holds-barred attack on Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. What they uncovered wasn't just criticism. It was a surgical takedown, exposing shocking missteps, pandemic overreach, and power grabs that the mainstream media wouldn't touch. Their goal wasn't to sway voters. It was to shatter the story the public had been told. And in the process, Walz found himself at the center of a political firestorm that could change his future forever.
He believes a lot of wild things. One of them is transgender surgery for people who are under 13.
So for those out there who are wondering, aren't there something else you could be doing or doesn't seem to impact you in your life? This is what it means to show empathy. This is what it means to be welcoming.
He changed the Minnesota state flag to make it look like the Somali flag. You haven't seen that?
But our current flag is problematic. I think we all know that.
Joe Rogan and Tucker Carlson don't agree on much.
Have you ever seen that video?
No.
Pull that video up because it's one of my favorite.
What is a woman? What is a woman is the question.
I'm not sure I understand the question here.
What do you want me to say?
I want you to say that a woman like me is an adult human female, that men can't become women. You guys are the party of violence, and you're the party erasing women. You don't respect us. You're a bigot. You're a misogynist. You're a sex. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
The first and perhaps most unsettling thing Rogan and Carlson focused on was Governor Walz himself. They painted him not just as a politician, but as a weirdo, even a pathological liar. This wasn't speculation. It was an indictment built on a string of alleged falsehoods, stretching back years, shaking the very trust the public placed in him. Claims of being present in Tiananmen Square, a major moment in history, were put under intense scrutiny, showing a sharp gap between his story and the facts. Then came accusations of exaggerating his time as a football head coach. A small detail that, when added to other alleged lies, created a troubling pattern. The most serious questions, however, centered on his military record. Rogan noted that while Walz may not have outright claimed to serve in Afghanistan, he never corrected people who believed it, quietly letting a heroic story form around him. The scrutiny deepened when it was revealed he retired just months before his unit deployed, casting further doubt on his record. Rogan, with his blunt, non-nonsense style, framed these inconsistencies as a deliberate attempt to mislead, suggesting a man willing to bend the truth for political gain. Carlson, in his cold, analytical manner, emphasized the seriousness of this pattern, pointing to a deeper trust problem beyond the records and claims. There was also an unsettling feeling about Walz's behavior. His odd way of walking, the strange handshake with his wife caught on video, and a general sense of unease that reinforced the weirdo label. These personal quirks, though small, set the stage for bigger criticisms, revealing a character Rogan and Carlson argue was fundamentally untrustworthy.
Can't get past the core fact about Walz, which is he presided over, allowed the biggest city in the state to get burned down.
And seemed to not only allow it, but kind of
he liked
and
it.
Support it, you know.
Did you see the video of his wife saying, I kept the windows open so I could smell the burning rubber from the riots?
I could smell the burning tires. And I kept the windows open for as long as I could.
I did not see that.
The wife whose hand he shook.
Oh my God. By the way, picking on a little thing, but who the hell shakes their wife's hand?
What do you think about Walz's descriptions of his military career? Because there's some issues there that people have. I don't know if he flat out ever said that he served in Afghanistan. But he certainly didn't dissuade people from saying that he was, when they were saying he didn't correct them.
Right.
There was things.
He didn't, and he didn't. And you can look at interviews, and there's no pushback. There's no excuse me, I didn't go to Iraq. Right.
Exactly.
And I retired, as my unit was deploying. And so
we were retired a couple months before.
But the criticism didn't stop at personal integrity. Rogan and Carlson dug into Governor Walz's controversial social policies, exposing beliefs that shocked many viewers. One of the most alarming was his alleged support for gender-affirming surgery for children under 13. While Walz framed it as an act of empathy and a step toward inclusivity, Rogan and Carlson tore into what they saw as a radical position. They questioned how policies with permanent effects on minors could be called simple compassion, highlighting a sharp divide between the governor's words and the concerns of parents and citizens. The scrutiny didn't end there. Walz's decision to redesign the Minnesota state flag drew intense criticism. The new flag, critics noted, looks strikingly similar to the Somali flag. Officials said the change was necessary because the old flag was problematic, a claim Rogan and Carlson used to argue that ideological narratives were being prioritized over history. This wasn't just a design choice. They suggested it was an intentional erasure of state identity in favor of a politically charged symbol. Rogan, with his blunt, no-hold-bread style, expressed disbelief at the priorities behind these policies, while Carlson, cold and precise, highlighted the broader societal consequences. Together, they painted Walz as a leader whose idea of empathy veered into radical social experimentation, leaving many to wonder how such policies truly serve the people of Minnesota.
Really saying free speech doesn't include hate speech and misinformation.
There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
Hey man, you, because everything that we called misinformation just a few years ago, it's on the front page of the New York Times now that we were lied to.
I'm the law-abiding grandma that was sentenced to 90 days in jail for opening my business during the shutdowns as a peaceful protest when Minnesota Governor Tim Walz unconstitutionally and illegally shut our businesses down. So my question is, if you were in my situation, would you have done the same thing?
I think what you did is honorable and necessary, and I think that you'll be recorded by someone, maybe silently, as a hero for what you did. Did you serve 90 days?
I served 60.
That's just incredible to me. Let me just say that Walz and every other governor who did anything like that is a monster, and I think on some level he will be punished.